Okay, cool. Okay, so hi, you guys. My name is Nicole. But first, I want Katie, if you can actually introduce yourself and tell us like a little bit about you, because I know that my team was super excited to get to know you for a sec. So if you don't mind, I will let you do
Yeah. Okay, so I'm Katie Duke. I have been with It Works for 2 years now, and I'm a double diamond. A little bit about my story and like why I joined. I'm gonna try to go through it really fast because I always start crying. But me and my husband, we were both working full time. We were trying to have a baby because we had just gotten married. And as soon as we got married, we immediately got pregnant and we were super excited. Unfortunately, like right after, we ended up miscarrying. And so it was really hard for me. And it was actually my second miscarriage. So we kind of talked about going to a fertility specialist. And when we ended up going, they quoted us like thousands of dollars up front, which was super hard for us, even with us both working full time. We just didn't have 5 grand to like throw out. And anything like if you know anything about a fertility specialist, like you have to pay it up front. They don't bill you. So I actually started looking at weekend jobs and I got super bummed because I already had a son. And I was just thinking, working 7 days a week and being away from him while he's at ball and doing whatever, like it just broke my heart. And like 2 weeks later, I saw a girl post about making money from her phone and I had never even heard of it. And so like we got to talking and I immediately signed up. That was when all the bonuses are out and stuff. So there was $1,000 Ruby bonus. And I just knew that $1,000 Ruby bonus could like really help us go towards our fertility. So I just knew I had to do it. And I joined in my first month. I ended up going Ruby. My second month, the bonuses were actually supposed to be over, but Mark extended them. And I just sat there and I thought, like, why couldn't I get those bigger bonuses? Like, if everyone else can get, a $5,000 bonus and $20,000 bonus, like, why couldn't I? So my second month, literally while working full played and busted my butt, and I went diamond, and that was a huge turn for us. We having all these bonuses and the fast starts, and just the diamond commission check on top of like working full time. So I was able to pay for my fertility in cash, but unfortunately it didn't work. And so we just kind of decided to take a break and focus on It Works because it was just blowing up. And so we took a break. And 2 months later, we found out we were pregnant with twin boys. And it was just a complete shock to me, but I was just super thankful for this business because, when most people find out they're pregnant, they're freaking out about money. Well, when you find out you're pregnant with two, you really start freaking out about money. So I was just super thankful for this business. And then that's when God really opened my eyes on why he brought this business into my life because 6 months in, I was put on bed rest. I had to quit my job and I was paid per hour. So if it wasn't for this business, I literally would have lost everything. I would have lost my cars, my house. I mean, I wouldn't have had a way to pay bills because my husband was so worried. He was missing work all the time. So it was just crazy. And then a couple weeks later, we actually went into labor. They couldn't stop my labor. And so the boys were only 6 months and they tried everything to save them and just they couldn't. And so it was a really hard time in my life. And that's when when I tell people about this business, I say that's when it blessed us the most. Because when I was at my darkest time in my 27 years of life, darkest time ever, when I had to bury 2 children, this business continued to bless us. I didn't have to pick up my phone. I didn't have to, call into a job or worry about any of that. I didn't have to worry about my bills. I just got to focus on myself and I got to heal on my own time. And so I really think that's why God brought this business into my life. Fast forward a couple months later, we've healed some and we just started talking about babies again. And when we went back, they wanted us to do IVF, and that's even more expensive, tens of thousands of dollars. So I busted my butt and I went double diamond and we got to pay for IVF in cash. And it's just blessed us from there. We've had 5 embryos. We did one transfer and unfortunately ended in ectopic, which led to surgery, which, thanking God for this business because if I was in a real job, like I'd be time off, that'd be money lost. So this business has just blessed us so much. And now we have 4 embryos and we actually just moved to Alabama where my husband has always wanted to live and we just got to pick up because of this business. So that's a little about me and my story. And I got there without crying, so I'm super proud.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Fast forward through it.
Oh, wow. That's a tough act to follow. I
Girl,
need
story is insane.
I need a second to collect myself. Wow, you are amazing. Like, oh my goodness. Whew. Okay. Well, thank you. I am so flattered that you would ask me to do a Zoom with you. Like you want to talk about no excuses. Like, holy crap. Okay. So, I'm going to do speaker view so that it doesn't hop around. So I will mute everybody. And then Katie gave me some questions. So, oops, why is it doing that? Just kidding. There we go. All right, cool. Okay. So for those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Nicole Scuderi. I am a presidential diamond out of Las Vegas, and I just want to give you guys like a brief overview of my story. I started this business, for $500. I think most people do. I think most of us start for just a few $100 extra. I was an accounting manager in Las Vegas, and I was over 2 properties. I was really young. Kind of thought my shit didn't stink. I'm going to give it to you guys really real and honest. And so sometimes that might mean that I have a colorful vocabulary. So with that being said, I kind of rock the boat, and I'm the kind of person that's like, I like to see things and I like to improve them. And so even if something's been working the right way for a really long time, that doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't a better way to improve it. So anyways, that resulted in me losing my job, but and I was devastated and depressed, and I have multiple bachelors, and I thought I was gonna be there for forever. It was definitely a blow to my ego, but a blow to our family in general. And I was a single mom at the time, and my boyfriend moved in to take care of us, and so we crammed like 5 people into this tiny townhouse. The kids on top of each other, and my boyfriend, now husband, and I wanted to start a family, but that wasn't gonna happen. And kind of like how Katie was talking about, like, you need money to support kids, and we did not have that. So this business sort of fell into my lap. I knew nothing about multi-level marketing. I had actually told my enroller that I was not going to build her a team. That was a pyramid scheme. I was just going to sell products. So it's okay if you get those people that are like really complicated, because I was one of them. But I really needed money, and I'm super, super competitive. And so I joined, and I really didn't do anything. I was one of those people that waited for my kit to come in, and even when my kit came in, I put a wrap on, and I still didn't do anything. But then someone joined my business. Well, someone joined my enroller's business, and that girl who has been so critical to my business, her name's Paris. She joined, and she like took off immediately. And I'm one of those people that was like, oh my gosh, this girl's doing better than me. So if you're a super red personality and you need competition, find that person, whether it's a sideline, upline, downline, wherever that person is, find that healthy competition, because once I found that, it was like the spark that I needed. And so I went Ruby in 3 weeks. I got that $500 bonus. And honestly, I couldn't even really tell you how I went Ruby, because I don't think I knew. It just sort of like happened, just this conundrum of just doing. I threw parties. I talked to everybody I knew. I really wasn't a big social media person. I didn't really know how to use social media. I'm an accountant by trade. I like to sit behind my computer and do numbers. And I'm not really like super social. And so if you're kind of like awkward like me, then that's totally fine. Like this, my team asked me for spotlight video, but this is making me feel awkward. Just staring at myself. There we go. I love to stare at your guys' beautiful faces. So with that being said, I would say that I had like general success. Later on, I found out that apparently the average is like people go diamond in like 4 months. You guys, it took me 8 months. So like when people join the business now and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm not going fast enough. And they're in like their 2nd month. I'm like, psh. It took me 8 months to get there. So like, I don't even know what I'm talking about. There's girls on my team that did it in like 70 days. And they're like, it's taking me so long. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh my God, it took me forever. So don't worry. But like I said, my husband and I wanted to family plan. We were finally able to do that. I was also on bed rest. I just had all sorts of complications with my son. Eventually Kingston came early. And I don't want to, I think most people know me for my health journey, and I have I have so many Zooms on what's happened to me with that. And so I don't want to get into like huge, crazy detail about it, because I feel like um, for a long time, like the entire year last year, that's all I focused on was like where I fell and like how that like sucked me in. But long story short, I had blood clots. I almost died multiple times. My left lung is still damaged. I have I have lupus and RA. I have survived cancer twice. I have had a hysterectomy at 27 years old. Last December, I did chemo. In April, I did stem cell in Mexico. I got to, because this business allowed me to go to another country, choose the treatment that I wanted to and pay cash for it. A completely experimental treatment that I didn't even know if it was going to work. And in June, we found out that I am in remission. So all of last year and pretty much up until June, I was so focused on the health journey and oh my gosh, I, was so close to death so many times. And oh my gosh, look at all these things. And I still get emotional about it. But I think that there's like so many mind shift changes in my journey with It Works. One of them being most recently, I think that when you're going through it, and I don't know what everyone's stories are, but when you're going through it, it's easy to focus on where we have fallen. It's so easy because you're like, I think it's just human nature, to focus on that. But now that I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, that it was almost like, oh my gosh, that's the past, right? Well, now I can look back and I can be like, okay, now I can look at how, like, what actually was the comeback. And so if you want like the nitty gritty details of like the sad part about my story, that's on YouTube. But tonight's not about that. Tonight, I don't want to focus on the sad part. I want to focus on the comeback, because I feel like the comeback tastes so much better. It's just so much better. And so after my hysterectomy, I had fallen all the way down to Ruby. I had fallen all the way down to Ruby. There was like this 8-month period, you guys. There were months I didn't even run my auto ship, okay? What I did not appreciate about this business, when I got the blood clots, I promoted to double diamond. You guys hooked up to an oxygen tank inside the hospital when the doctors were like telling my husband I wasn't going to make it out of there. I promoted to double diamond. I got my bonus, and I was like not even sure I was going to walk out of there. But I didn't appreciate residual income because I didn't necessarily understand what it was. Okay, this is what residual income is and how it impacted my story. I promoted to double diamond in May of 2016. I joined in June of 2015. Okay, so not even a year. And I looked at my back office reports. I did not sign a single distributor or a single LC till December of 2016. That's a long freaking time, you guys. That is so long. Okay. June, I was paid as a double. July, I was paid as a diamond, and then a diamond, and then an emerald, and then an emerald, and then a ruby. So even though I wasn't working, and there was like somewhere in there, I think maybe in November, I didn't run my auto ship, or there was a BOGO, and I think my auto ship was like the wraps, and because I wasn't paying attention, because I didn't care, because I was in my own depressive world. You know how they delete the wraps off of your auto ship if it's during a BOGO? Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. So I didn't get commission qualified, which means I didn't get a check. Joke was on me. And then I was being stubborn, and I didn't go place an order. So don't be me, okay? Don't do as I did. Do as I say. So don't do that. So this is what I didn't appreciate about residual income. I didn't work at all for all of those months, okay? I don't know how many of you guys work a 9-to-5, but most 9-to-5s have like some sort of like what is it, medical leave or whatever, and they pay you like a portion of your salary. Usually medical leave's not that long, okay? But think of how many months that was. Plus, on top of that, I then was going to have a hysterectomy. I then was going to have, sorry, I didn't meet everybody. I then was going to have like later just have like treatment and all this other stuff. And like my team knows there was a period when like I closed my team page down, a lot of them, which I'm so grateful for. There are people that are on my team that have been with me since the beginning, and they, we've been through the ringer together. I abandoned them during that period of time. And by abandon, I mean, I was not answering their phone calls. I was not answering their texts. They couldn't get a hold of me. And they were people that were like really wanting to work. And I don't mean they were like red personalities that were like, where there's a will, there's a way, because some of them weren't. So if you're not the kind of person that's like, I joined this business to make $1 million, that's okay. I had people that were in my business during the darkest time of my life that hung on because they were like, I'm in here for a reason. So during that 8-month period, like I said, I didn't work, but I was being paid, and I didn't appreciate it because I was a selfish brat. Actually, I was really another B word, but I'm not gonna go there. So by December, I was paid as a Ruby. My check was like $500-ish. And I remember my husband, we had like saved up because I knew I was gonna get a hysterectomy, and I was so devastated because I wanted a baby girl so bad. But they were like, you have cervical cancer, and that's just like not gonna happen. Kind of need a cervix to have a baby. So we have to take it. Okay. So we went to Costa Rica, and my husband looked at me and he was like, you need to make a decision. Like, what are you going to do with this business? Like, you're literally not doing anything. And I was just in the mindset of like, well, I'll figure it out later. I was always like that. So I don't know if any of you, it was like the first time that I had ever been, time for bed. Mom life, y'all. Trying to teach my son a lesson. We don't lie in this house. So, you know. So I was just at this place where I was all over the place. So I had my hysterectomy, and after my hysterectomy, my husband's like, all right, you ready to make that decision yet? Like, you know, you got to figure it out. Well, I missed conference because I was healing. And then March 1st rolled around, and my enroller, so I guess by show of hands, because I can see some of your guys' faces, have any of you guys ever had somebody on your team who was like, was on fire and then like lost it? And you're like, what just happened? Like, that happens to all of us. Well, I was that person. And so my enroller was like, dude, I cannot wait around for this girl. I can't. So she moved on. Well, I'm here to tell you it's okay. Move on, because this is your family and your paycheck and your life. And you can't wait around for people like me to pull their heads out of their asses. You can't. Eventually, obviously I did. And you never know, maybe they will. So March 1st came around, she moved on, and I am very competitive. And it was such a blow to my ego. I was like, oh my God, they forgot about me. So that was first and foremost. It was an ego bruise. But secondly, I think I was finally like mentally ready. I was like, okay, like my life, like I was done having the pity party. I was done being like, woe is me. I was done. Like, I literally wallowed in my own self-pity of like depression and postpartum. And I can look back and I can say that now, because when I was going through it, it was devastating. But now I can look back and be like, honestly, I really should have just gone and got help and quit instead of complaining. So first and foremost, because I know that was one of the questions, was when I went from ranking to Ruby to triple in 1 month, how did I do it? First and foremost, it's a decision. Like, you can't make a miracle happen if you're not in your mind thinking like, well, screw this, I can do it. Now, I was not like, I'm going from Ruby to triple. That was not it in my brain. I was like, I'm going from Ruby back to my double. I want my double back. I want my bonuses back. Like, that's the beauty of this business, is that you can maintain by volume. And I knew that I could get back to the volume. I had no idea what I was capable of. So that's the second part of this freaking awesome story, is that I had no idea how powerful I was as a person. And then that just philosophy, and that just like, it's so contagious, because people feel the energy that you have, whether that be new people you bring into the business, people that you reignite on your team, customers that you talk to, like even my family, my friends, like people all around me, people I never thought would come into my business. Also, No, honey. Go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom. Oh, he knows. Okay. So first thing I did is I made a plan. Okay. So if you guys want to go somewhere, you need a plan to get there. All right. So I knew I was maintaining Ruby easily. So I took out an emerald chart and I knew like, okay, at least with like these, at least with the box, I was like, all right, at least with these boxes, like I needed to know, like I pulled out my reports from eSuite. I'm like, okay, who is running? There we go. I'm like, who's running an auto ship? Who is like who still has life? Okay. If you guys don't know how to run reports in eSuite, you need to spend like wake up early tomorrow and go poke around your back office because that's important. Okay. Like you pay $20 a month to make sure that you can run a business. Like unless you join this for like nail money, which is totally fine because I have people on my team that are like, girl, I'm a stay-at-home mom and I just want to be able to get my hair done. Like that's it. That's fine. I love those people. But if you join for more than that, then you need to know how to run some reports. Okay. So, but I have a whole video in my YouTube about how to run reports. So I won't get into that. You can go see my YouTube and you can learn there. So I ran some reports and I figured out who was working, who was still signing people, who was doing something, anything. I contacted every single person in my downline. And I first and foremost apologized to them because I abandoned them. And then second, I made a list of all my loyal customers and I contacted them. So if you've dropped rank, if you've quit and need to come back, if you've any of those things, get organized, figure out your plan. Where are you going? What are you doing? I have really high customer retention because I'm crazy organized. And I have a video on my YouTube about that too. So organization was the second thing. The third thing is, y'all, I just performed a miracle, okay? There's no secret. I just got out and flipping worked, okay? Like everything that you could do, I went and did it, okay? So let me give you some perspective. February 28th, I closed the month and my check was $500 and like, oh, I think I have a picture. $548 or something like that, okay? March 31st, my check was over 10,000. To do that, I did everything. The HOA had an event, my ass was there. Okay, my neighbors wanted to do a bake sale, my ass was there. The school let me put up a flyer, I was there. Like so-and-so wanted a party, I was there. Online party, I was there. Like I wanted to make a miracle happen. My son had been my son needed to be diagnosed. Any of you guys don't know, we're a blended family. One of our children is special needs. It's $1,500. Insurance does not cover it just to be diagnosed. I did not have $1,500, y'all. I just had a hysterectomy. Okay, I didn't have any money. All right, my copay for my hysterectomy was $2,000. I was like, it's not happening. So I was like, I need a miracle. I need to perform a miracle. Like something's got to happen. So with that being said, if you are like, hey, Katie, I need you to show me the light to someone who performed a miracle. Okay, well, take notes. You just need to go and work. Okay, I reignited my Instagram. I have this, my poor Instagram. It has seen so many different versions of myself. It has seen so many different things. So I got on Instagram and I had never worked Instagram before. I really started pushing myself to the limit. If you don't go live on Facebook, go live on Facebook, okay? If you go to my Facebook, you'll see I am a hot mess, but that's okay because people relate to that, okay? People want to know you're a normal human being. They do not want to see the picture perfect It Works distributor with the picture perfect posts. They just don't. And that's my opinion. And I'm sure there's going to be somebody who's going to be like, I don't know, but I don't care. That's who I am. They want to see the unapologetic version of whoever it is that you are, whoever Bethany is, Zoe is, Stephanie is, Beth is, whoever you guys are, that's who they want to see. They like, especially like if you just join the business and your friends on social media are your actual friends that you know in real life, like they know who you are. So they're going to know when you're feeding them some baloney. So don't do that. What I have found, like I do attraction marketing, and I'm not like dissing other ways to run your business, but I do attraction marketing. And still to this day, I do attraction marketing and my team can attest, I have anywhere from like 70 to 100 enrollments a month. So, and I don't cold message. I mean, so like you can do that easily. Even on months when I'm like even on the month of chemo, even when I was going through chemo, my team literally had to message me and be like, we're going to have your husbands take your phone because you should be sleeping, because I was like still enrolling. Because what else are you going to be doing while you're laying in bed, like doing nothing? I'm lonely. I need to talk to people. I'm like, So you can find, there's like so many different ways you can work this business. And I feel like people are afraid to talk about getting out from behind this thing. Okay, y'all, if you are in a rut in your business, throw this shit away. Bye. Go talk to people. Go see their faces. I dare you. I so dare you. We have, my phone's red for a reason. We have a blitz. Like when we do our boom contests, our booms are like, 800, 1,000 boom, because I make them go out and blitz. Go blitz people. Go flip and talk to people. Like you got a shirt, you have shirts, go talk to people. So I do need my phone though, because I need the questions. Okay. What did you implement that you weren't doing before? Everything. Before I was pretty much, I did some parties, but I was pretty much solely social media. But I'm the kind of person where I will try anything at least once, because like you just don't know. All right. So I'm going to give you guys a few ideas. Before It Works had sip and sample, we used to call it the wrap party. Well, I feel like so many people, I started to learn that there were a lot of distributors in Las Vegas. I don't know. I must have been living under a rock because I didn't even hear about this company. And it's probably because everyone was using social media and I thought social media was stupid. So if you're like me and you lived under a rock for a long period of time, you're probably like, or if you run across people and you're like, and they're like, I don't know how to use social media. Cool. You don't have to work your business like that. You can do so many other things. There's so many things you can do. I am a very logical person, so I Googled how social media works. So if you're the kind of person that's like that too, just beat the algorithm. And if you can beat the social media algorithm, then you win. It's as simple as that. How to beat the social media algorithm? Be social. You go on social media and actually talk to people. It's not about how many times you post or how cute your picture is. No, it's about the person who interacts with the most people. Our team, and I'm super open about it. Y'all, I can give it to Katie or whoever your leader is. We do a thing called, I have a power hour doc. Y'all can have it. I'm like one team, one mission. I work my business still to this day, maybe like 3-4 hours a day, if that. And then whatever time, I'm still an accountant. I work a full-time job. Okay. I need health insurance because I'm sick. And I just don't want to spend that kind of money on health insurance. I just don't want to. So I work a 9 to 5. So all these people who are like, I can't work a 9 to 5 and work this business. Yeah, bullshit. Yes, you can. I work a 9 to 5. My husband works a 9 to 5 and he's going triple and I'm presidential and it's possible you can do it. Time manage, you guys. Time manage. Manage your time. We have 4 children. Okay. One is about to be 3 years old. One is special needs and he's just wild, loves a great personality, but he's my wild child. We have a daughter that's she's getting to that teenage years and y'all know what that's like. And then we have a teenager. So, I mean, and when we get blended family problems. So it's there. Okay. So my power hour doc consists of all the different ways you can work your business for 1 hour. Okay. It's available to anybody who wants it. It has everything from, our leadership developed a thing called the letter of the day. It's a way to work your Facebook friends list. Like I said, I do attraction marketing, but I know that one of my sidelines does a different method of working their business, and she uses the letter of the day in a different way. But like I said, y'all are welcome to use it. I use the letter of the day to, I don't talk about it works. I use it to build relationships with people, to cycle people out of my friends list. I mean, I'm bold and kind of aggressive with it. If I message somebody and a month later, because you're obviously, there's 26 letters, at least 30 days in the month. If I message them and a month later they don't message me back, there is no damn reason for them to be on my friends list. They don't want to talk to me. I don't want to talk to them. So there's like so many millions and millions and millions of people on Facebook. I know that it's not a big deal. So you guys can utilize the Power Hour doc to be as calm or as bold as you want, but you are more than welcome to it. Other ways, and they mean this doc. There we go. This doc goes over everything from Instagram to Facebook to we're doing a new version of it. We're updating it because I have girls on my team that came in and they're like, oh my gosh, Nicole, we need to teach you how to use Snapchat. I feel so old. I don't even know. They're trying to teach me how to find people on Snapchat. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I don't even know how to use this. Okay. So we're revising it, but it does everything from expos, like how to follow up with expos, how to find expos, how to work a vendor event all the way from the small. You guys, I started vendor events at HOAs when there were 20 people there. Now I do vendor events that have 3,000 people, and we sell like where's my team at? We just did one in Seattle and we sold like 200 wraps. Okay. I started doing an HOA event with like 20 people, and me and Jade and Jaleesa just did an event in Seattle and made some serious wrap cash. You start somewhere. Okay. When I was going from ruby to triple, we needed a miracle. And I was like, my husband's like, well, this HOA has this back to spring event or spring fling event. Like, do you want to go set up a table? It's free. Yeah, let's go. What day? Where are we going? What do I need to bring? Okay, I'm there. You guys, I bought a 99-cent green plastic tablecloth with some 99-cent green cups. I brought some greens on the go. I had some wraps. Like, it was so basic. And I was like, I had no clue what I was doing. But I made it happen. Okay. If you want to go from 500 to 10,000, you have to be willing to push the limit and make it happen. That month, I talked to 1,200 people, like 1,200 people. It was from Instagram, Facebook. I blitz people. If I exchange my credit card with somebody, they get a blitz card. Super easy. Okay. We also, our team, for people who've never blitzed before, we adopted the It Works scavenger hunt. I'm like, you don't know how to blitz? You're scared? Okay, just tell them, hey, my team is doing a scavenger hunt. I don't know if you ever heard us, but I really want to win. Is it okay if, you're whatever. What's one of the ones on scavenger hunt? I think it's a cashier. They go up and they go to the cashier like, will you just help me win, please? They take a picture with them, and then once they're done taking the selfie with them, they just turn around and they're like, this is my business. This is what I do. Is it okay if I get your info, or can I add you on Facebook real quick? So easy. They use that as a tool to get used to talking to strangers. Because you guys, before social media, how do y'all think Melody McFarland got to ambassador? It wasn't through social media. She did it talking to people. Like, you get out of it. Go talk to people. Don't be afraid. Utilize all of the tools. When I'm in a rut, when I'm like, man, my business, I feel like I'm in a funk, I go do something different. Like during expo season, because we have seasons. I hear that so many times. I don't know how many of you guys say that. I know poor Katie's probably like, you are not even answering the questions I gave you. Like, I gave you questions, you did not answer them. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I promise I will. My things are all over the place. Okay, so I kind of asked, what do you work most? Oh man. Okay, so this is kind of answering that question. How many of you guys here, we're just in a slow season. I'm a squirrel, not on purpose, but oh my God, the holidays are coming up. Or, oh my God, it's summer. It's slow season. Or, oh, school just started. It's slow season. Yeah, okay. So slow season, yeah. Our team doesn't have slow season. Like, my husband's like, do you ever, like, can you take a vacation? Yes. But it's because we love what we do. It's not because we have to, it's because we love it. So this is what we started to do, right? During the time when people told us that like it's slow, we made our own season. So we have expo season, okay? So expo, it's like, we use kind of like bridal season, right? Expo season's kind of from, so it's from like, I think Araceli's still on here. Correct me if I'm wrong, because she does all our scheduling. It's from like January to like April-ish. And then it picks back up like we're really about to be in the thick of it. Like I don't even think I'm home almost all of September or October. We're going to Canada. I'm so super excited. So probably like the end of August to like the end of October. That's expo season. And I mean, we are gone every single weekend. I challenged our team this year to sell 2,000 wraps at the expos. We're going to crush that number. I mean, crush it. So that just tells you like what the possibilities are. BOGOs, y'all, BOGOs, compliance puts holds on our team's accounts. Like, what are you using these for? Like, we literally have to submit expo contracts and be like, no, I promise you, like, we really will sell all of these. Push your limit. Like, don't be afraid. Go out there. If you're like, oh my God, I love face-to-face. That sounds so awesome to me. Go do an HOA event. Go call your school. I started at my son goes to a charter school and they do like a back to school, like Halloween thing. What is it? Like those carnivals? We have a booth there. We do chocolate greens. We do, we're going to do chocolate greens, keto coffee, greens chews. Like how fun. The kids come. We almost make like hot chocolate. Like we have like one for the adults, the coffee. We have one for the kids, like chocolate milk. I know you're not supposed to really heat the greens, but you know, that's okay. But we've become so good at what we do. Expo companies seek us out. That's when you know that you become so good at what you do, people seek you out. It's attraction marketing, just like how you do on social media. If you are so consistent and so good at what you do on social media, people seek you out. That's what we teach our team. Pick, like, for me, maybe I'm not duplicatable. I hear that a lot. People are like, oh my God, Nicole, you're all over the place. You're not duplicatable. You know what? Maybe. But that's okay. Pick what you are good at, okay? If you are somebody who's like, I'm really good at social media, like I'm really good at Facebook. Girl, go so hard on Facebook that people seek you out. I want you to be so amazing at who you are that you're just like, oh my gosh, I am a household name. That was what my goal was. When I was going from Ruby to Triple, that's the mindset I had. When I realized, like, we got charted for Triple in the first like 10 days of the month. And it was because we were doing all of those things. I was talking to my team. There was a communication. And I know there was a question at some point, or Katie and I talked about like how I work with my leaders. I believe in layered leadership, and it was something that I really didn't have before. And I didn't really have it when I was going from Triple to presidential. I was just doing, and we were all just working craziness. And then I met this girl who I've linked up leadership with. Her name's Lachelle Ann, and she has become one of my best friends, and she has revolutionized our whole team. She has this concept called layered leadership, and it has allowed us to equip our leaders so that, like, if something were to happen, like I had a family thing happen to me like a few weeks ago, and I literally had to bounce off social media and deal with my family. And so swiftly and eloquently, all of our leaders came in and just handled it. And it was like, nobody missed a beat. I don't even think my team noticed that I was gone. I was gone for like 5 days and nobody even noticed because our leaders came right in and just handled it. We have diamond chats. Once you become charted for diamond, you get your own chat. And that's where we start creating this layered leadership. New people get added to your chat. The diamond, or the person who's charted diamond, is the overseer. The emerald is the person who is starting to prep for that diamond spot. They're like, they know most of the answers to the questions. They can pretty much facilitate. The rubies are still kind of answering questions, kind of asking questions. The executives are definitely still asking questions, but sometimes they can answer some. And the newbies are there excited, asking questions. And you start to build this culture in this chat where people are like, oh my gosh, I'm making all these friends. I'm doing all these things. Like they feel comfortable. They're like, all this stuff is happening and they get excited. And it's this place where like like for me, okay, for the person I sign a lot of people. When you're a mass enroller, you're like, oh my God, how the heck am I going to create this culture of this one team, one mission? How am I going to create this? This is how we created that. I'm not the only mass enroller on my team. So I got together with the rest of us and I'm like, how do we do this? How do we create a method where people don't fall through the cracks? Is it perfect? No, because nothing's perfect. Stuff still happens. Does everybody, I mean, there are still people that are like, this isn't really for me. Like, I mean, all those things are still normal, but I feel like people are more prepared, definitely more prepared than before I started. I mean, before I started this method, me personally, am doing way less. I used to have to do everything. And so if you're at that spot where you're like, all the pressure's on you, it's really hard. It's really hard. I mean, people really close to me knew, like, I won't lie to you guys. Like when I was going from Ruby to Triple, I didn't sleep. Like, I'm not kidding. I did not sleep for like an entire month. My husband was like, you are going to give yourself a heart attack. But it was because I did not know how else to do this besides working like an insane, crazy person. But now if I had to do it again, I have a better method. I have a better process in place. Then I just worked and worked and worked and worked and worked. So you can definitely do that method because I did it and it worked and I got there. And then I went back and and like layer leadered it up. Or you and a group of your leaders can work like crazy and get out of your comfort zones and do all of those things. And that will still work. So now there's a group of us. We sleep more. I mean, we probably should sleep more, but I'm sleeping way more than I was before, but it's nice. We also do something that I know I've talked to so many leaders and people don't do this, but we do, we call it works after dark. It sounds super sketchy, but it's totally not. So what's going to happen after this Zoom is I will shut the recording off and then whoever wants to like stick around, we literally work until whoever falls asleep. People ask questions. We hang out, we listen to music. Our kids are running around. Sometimes our faces are on, sometimes they're not. Like sometimes it's different people, sometimes it's new people, sometimes it's whatever. Sometimes I'm on, sometimes I'm not on. Sometimes the leaders take over, sometimes, whatever, it's whatever. I mean, it's pretty much open. And we have created this and we have people in different countries. So this method of like, how do you make a strong leader? I communicate with them. I allow them to figure out who they are. And like for me being the presidential, my goal is not to do everything for them. I don't want to do that. I don't. And that should not be your goal either. Your goal should not be to be the person that does everything, because that will crush you. To create the strongest leaders, you have to, I like to figure out what my leadership is good at. And then I have people on our team that are really good at teaching. Those are the people that I'm going to be like, hey, we're testing out a new method for training. I'll let you guys know how it goes. We're doing like a unit method. We have people on our team that are really, really good at training. I'm a squirrel. I have bounced around like 25 times in this Zoom. You're probably like, I can't learn from this chick. What the heck? But I have people that are not like that. They're very easy to learn from. That's their strength, and that's where I'm going to place them. I think what makes a strong leader is a person who can step back and be like, all right, this is not my strength, but this is this person's strength. Sometimes like you do have to take the sidestep and know that like you are not good at everything. And I know for a fact, like I am not good at everything. But that's what I have. Like I surround myself with the people that I know that I need to learn from. Like, I'm always learning. Self-development is so big. It's so huge. I don't think that there is anybody in this business that doesn't need self-development. Like, if you're feeling like, I mean, if you're feeling any type of way, self-development, any type of way. And there's so many ways you can do self-development. You can journal, you can talk to yourself, which I do a lot. Because who wants to listen to me jabber for hours? So sometimes I just need to do it to myself. I listen to videos, I read, but I also, I go to events, not just It Works events. Like, I go to other leadership events, networking events, women empowerment events. Like, I will fill my cup up any which way or how. And I think that whatever you're passionate about, also find a hobby. I know you're like, how do I have time for a hobby? What are you talking about? How do you have time for a hobby? I do. I garden. Find a stress reliever, because you're going to need one, especially if you want to be a presidential or an ambassador, or maybe that's the gym. Maybe, I don't know, but find it, because you're going to need it. I garden, and in those peaceful moments, that's when I do a lot of reflecting. So I think that strong leadership comes from a lot of different things, but it really is a personal decision. It's a personal choice that you have to make for yourself. So when you're looking at, like, what is it? Mark has, like, the pie chart. That's like, 30% this, really, you really do have to split up your time. You really do. You can't pour from an empty cup. I had to learn this one the hard way. So don't burn yourself out. All right. Time management, very, 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 very important. Okay. You can very easily get wrapped up in working the business, but not getting any results. I hear that a lot. People are like, I'm working so hard. Okay, well, what are you actually doing? So that's why we developed the Power Hour doc, because I wanted to find a way that you could work this business in short spurts of time, where it was so focused that that is what you're focusing on, because it is impossible to get, like, ample results if your mind is in 500 places. You just can't do it. You just can't. So that's why I like the Power Hour doc. And one of my leaders actually works in the accounting office with me, and she'll make comments every now and then. She'll be like, "Oh, Nicole's at a Power Hour," because when I'm Power Houring, y'all do not talk to me. I don't hear you. You do not exist. Nothing breaks my focus. But same thing happens when I'm with my kids. Y'all don't talk to me. Nothing breaks my focus. I am focused on them. That's why my kids don't complain about me working the business, because when I'm with them, I am with them. But when I'm working my business, I'm working. So whatever it is that you're focusing on at that moment, if I'm doing self-development, I am focused on my self-development. And some people, that's kind of like an unreal. My husband's like, you're a robot. Sometimes me. But that it works. So it works for me. My biggest piece of advice for leaders who've lost their rank: forgive yourself. That's my biggest piece of advice. Forgive yourself. Because I think that we look at ourselves in the mirror and we think something's wrong with us because that happened. There's something wrong with you. That's part of life. Okay? If business was always going up, everybody would do this. If this was easy, everyone would do it. But if everyone was doing it, we would make no money. We would make no money. Doesn't matter. We are in this business because it's not always up. It's like this. There will be peaks, there will be valleys. I have learned so much more about myself as a person in the valley, way more than I have at the peak. At the peak, I got to enjoy the fruits of what happened in the valley. And that's how I look at it. And I truly believe that's how you should look at it too, because the valley figures out who we are as people. That's what differentiates the quitters from the winners, is what happens in the valley. People run. People are like, try to find greener grass. People do stupid shit in the valley. But that's what separates you from the next person. That's what I think makes somebody, like, y'all, if y'all look at Stephanie and Joel Dunn, they are not enjoying 200, 300 plus a month because they quit in the valley. Like they're enjoying that because they worked through that. They climbed the mountain and kept climbing. And when they fell, they kept going. And if y'all want to experience that same joy, that's what you have to do. And for me, of course, the goal is always to build strong enough where you don't have to experience that. But if it does happen, that's okay. That's okay. Accept it. Love yourself still. Move on. Move on to the next thing. So that's honestly my biggest advice, is to just forgive yourself and keep going. How do we train new members? So our team, we do it together. We have a new distributor training, which I believe is public and also on my YouTube. So you guys are more than welcome to look at it. It's about, I would say 30-ish, maybe 35 minutes, but it's broken up in little small segments. Like the first little part of it, teaches them how to go into eSuite, and it has like my little Bitmoji that tells them when to stop. And then afterwards it, explains to them how to do a different part, how to use our team page, tells them when to stop. And then it tells them how to, we teach them, organization right from the get-go. Because right from the get-go, we teach them how to work their business in an hour, right from the get-go. Because nothing makes a new person quit more than when they feel like they got to spend 8 hours doing this thing when they already don't have time. So that's what I do. Everybody's different, but I want to teach them how to do this as fast as quickly as they can. And then our team, our leaders all got together. Like I said, when I was going from Ruby to Triple, I did, like before Zoom was a really big thing, I would do Zoom parties, but I did everything on my own. You guys, I was working so many hours. Like it was totally ridiculous. I would almost like not even, like I have a video, if there's a video on my YouTube of exactly what I did, like word for word, exactly what I did, I almost wouldn't even recommend it because you'll burn yourself out. This is what I actually recommend. Get together with some either team members, sidelines, whatever. This is what our team does. We do stuff together. So like once a week, we have a team fit or a team online party. So everybody from our team can invite people to the event. And then we have people on our team that are really amazing at the blues. You have blues on your team, that's their time to shine. Y'all, I'll do a party. I can do a party, but it's because I'm so red. I want the money. I want them to sign up. I want the LCs. I'll make it happen. I am not going to stick my gentlest yellow of yellows to do my party. Okay. That's not going to happen, but my blues are going to do the party. So that's that time for them to shine. We do a once a week fit. We do a 2 times a month Spanish fit because we do have a Spanish team. We do a once a month opportunity event where we link up with 2 other, we have our leadership team with actually 3, with Dee Brooks, Shari Rogers, and Lachelle Ann. And so we do a once a month opportunity event. We do it at the beginning of the month. And for the whole rest of the month, we utilize that same Facebook event. Y'all, when I go to sign a distributor, I literally have like, people are like, send me your messages. Guys, it's like 3 sentences. Hey, I saw that you're interested in being a distributor. Is it cool if I send you 2 quick videos? Yeah, sure, no problem. I send them the video of my story, and then I send them a video, if they didn't go to the event. I send them a video, because Lachelle always does the part about money. I send them Lachelle's video about money, and that's it. And I'm like, what did you think? And then we talk about it. That's it. Super simple, super duplicatable, super fast. And like, I would say that I signed probably, well, besides the $20 kits, but anywhere from like 12 to 25. Your story. Make an opportunity video. Like I went live on, what I did is I went live on Facebook and I told my story, and then I saved it to my phone and I uploaded it to YouTube. And that's my opportunity video. Bring value to the business. That's what I did. I basically was like, I discredited all the excuses people give. Oh, why is it $99? When in my video, I'm like, God, could you imagine having to start a normal business where like you have to buy insurance and get a business license and like have to deal with the government and do all this other crap? Like here, you don't have to do that. You pay a one-time $99 fee and you get to, enroll, or you re-enroll annually for $35. Like that's it. You don't have to worry about insurance. You don't have to worry about this. You bring value to it right off the gate. Make your own opportunity video. They want to see your face. They don't want to see mine. So, oh my gosh, it's already 8 o'clock. Holy crap. Let's see. My team isn't working or my team quit. Okay, well, that's okay. I'm sure my enroller said the same thing about me. I'm sure she complained about me for a hot second. But, I mean, that's okay. This business, so I have a few different opinions on this. I guess it depends on where you are in your business. If you are not to diamond yet, I tell my people who are not to diamond to stop complaining and get to diamond as fast as they can. Just stop complaining. Just get there. Because you want to get to diamond. You want diamond bonuses. You want cabs. That's what you want. You want those things. Once they're at diamond, it's depending on what their situation, like depending on your situations. I feel like that is such a situational statement. But honestly, you guys, it's like depending on where I'm at in my business, like sometimes it's bank over rank. Like I'm not even gonna lie to you guys right now, like I'm maintaining triple, but my checks are like, and I posted them on social media, I'm not even afraid. 17,000, 15,000. That's higher than a presidential check, so I don't even care. Like I don't care. Bank over rank, know your comp plan. Like I'm not ashamed of it at all because I had a whole diamond leave for another company and I was like, deuces. It doesn't affect me because I knew that the people that stayed were the people I wanted to work with, and they're people that were in my business that needed to be there. And those are the people that I'm going to pour into. And those are the people that I'm like, you know what? They were loyal and they were going to stick it through, and the devil came in and tried to shake us. So screw it, whatever. And I am showing them how to take advantage of the comp plan. Like check match, y'all, check match was life. Holy, I can't even. There are so many words I want to say that I won't because this is recorded. But oh my God. So I just feel like depending that when people quit or people leave or people do things, like that's okay. Take your business into your own hands. If you want something bad enough, like my husband and I wanted to buy a house so bad. And I was like, I needed $75,000 to put down on that house. And I was like, I'm going to make it happen. I busted out that comp plan. I read that match bonus front to back. I was like, I will know and I will understand how this works. I pulled my chart out and I got to work. And I didn't need it to say paid as presidential for me to make that happen. We put $75,000 down on our house and we have a healthy $75,000 budget to renovate it because it's a reno. I don't need it to say. So when people say people quit, people left, people this, honestly, I pray for them, for the people that do that. I pray to them, and that's that. Like, that's okay. People, you're not a tree. You know what I mean? Like, if people need to go, they need to go. So that's my philosophy on that. I just don't dwell too much on what other people are doing. I worry about my own, so like me, my own family. You know, like they need house. Right now, they need a roof over their head, and that's all I was really focused on. So there's that. And as far as like people not working, I will say this. Sometimes you get those people that come to you and they're like, my team isn't working. I do straight up ask them, well, what are you doing? Have you ever asked yourself that though? Like if you've ever thought to yourself, like my team isn't working, because I've asked myself that a few times. Like I've had a ruts where I've been like, man, like I'm like, oh, they're not matching my efforts. But then I'm like, wait a minute. And I've noticed that like maybe I'm not doing enough showing, because when new people come into the business, they might not know the routine. Whereas like your vets, they know the routine. They've been with you a while. But if you're not doing enough showing, if you're a telling kind of leader, that doesn't really translate well with people. They don't want a boss. They don't want you to tell them what to do. They want you to show them what to do. So sometimes you got to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, well, what am I not doing that I used to do? And so for me, I was like, oh, I'm not going live as much. I'm not being as transparent enough. I need to show my team that literally when I sign a distributor, I'm saying 3 sentences and sending them 2 videos. Like I need to show them that so that they see it really is that easy. I need to show them, oh, hey guys, this was my opportunity video again. Like this is, what that looks like. I need to, because like I said, sometimes I'll get into my power hour modes and I will, sometimes the team will be on the Zooms and they'll be talking and stuff. And I am in such beast work mode that I don't even talk. And I'm like, oh, wait, that's right. I have to speak and communicate. So sometimes when people are like, my team's not doing anything, I'm like, well, how much are you what are you doing? What are you showing them? What are you, opening up about? Are you just doing? Are you doing everything for them? If you do everything for them, then they're expecting you to do everything for them. It's like it's a dance. This whole business is a dance. So it's also a learning process. I didn't know all of this. I learned it as I went. So, what's my daily schedule look like? 6 list. Okay, I'm ashamed to say this. I don't know what a 6 list is. I know. I hear it all over. We have this lifer, it's like the, I don't know, VIP page. People are always like the 6 list. I'm like, I don't know what that is. I have no clue what that is. So you're going to have to educate me, Katie, because I don't know what that is. Non-negotiables.
Hold on. It's basically your non-negotiables of the day. Like, so, message 50 people or go out and get some order, like follow up, like just 6 things you have to do. It doesn't have to be like a 6 list. It's just what people say. But anyways.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't have like an official 6 lists, but letter of the day is non-negotiable. Like that has to happen because the Facebook algorithm, y'all, is a beast, man. That thing is no joke. If I've noticed, I've tested it out so many times. If I do not, like, you don't have to post. Here's the beautiful thing about Facebook. You don't have to post every day. You don't, but you have to interact every day. If you are not messaging, commenting, liking, loving, talking to your peeps every day, Facebook, because there's so many people on Facebook, it is, I feel like it's like becoming a battlefield out there. But yeah, you don't have to post every day, but you definitely have to interact. Same thing with Instagram. Instagram, you do not have to post on your feed every day, but I am all up in my stories every single day. So I guess, yeah, so those are definitely my non-negotiables. I add people to my network every single day. Obviously through Facebook, I do that through my letter of the day. Through Instagram, we have a little bit of a different method. I did like an Instagram boot camp type thing with my team. I merged traditional marketing with network marketing. But that is honestly, so basically just find who you are and that we do like target marketing, but I add people to my network that way. You want to find people that you have in common interests in. You don't just want to add people from anywhere. You want them to stay on your page. Like I'm going to be honest. I love meat. I am not going to add somebody who is a vegan because we don't see eye to eye. Why would I do that to them? Why would I do that to them? It's just going to make them angry at me. I don't want that. So I, deliberately stay away from certain places, certain, hashtags, I stay away from those things because I don't align with those people. So that's just kind of gives you a little bit of perspective. For instance, like my husband loves craft beer. My husband also loves to travel. So he started this whole thing. I can thank him for that. So for Instagram, this is also in our Power Hour docs, so you guys can see that there. But he was like, he really, really, really wanted a team in the Pacific Northwest. He loves it. And so he was like, I'm going to go find us a team. So he went on Instagram, he went on search, and he's like, I'm going to go find craft beer, bars in Oregon and in Portland and in Seattle and all these places. And so he's like, he started following all these people. He took that over. And then we just took his method and just put that on steroids. And we just developed this whole like plan. And so we started to find expos that way. And you guys, when I have an expo coming up in another place, we pre-sell wraps because I go and start marketing in that area before that expo comes. If it's a baby show, we go start marketing to those moms that are going to be at that expo. Like, it's merging normal marketing with network marketing, with Instagram, it's like, yeah. Y'all, I can keep you on here for too long and I don't want to waste your time. So, okay. What do I work most? Honestly, it really truly does depend on, I don't want to say the season, but the season, I guess. I will always consistently, Facebook is my personal spot. Like Facebook knows me as a person. They've seen it all. I mean, they've seen it all. Everything from all the way from college to Braden's dad and I breaking up to MGM to the end of college to my husband to the kids. Like, they've seen my personal life. They know me as a human. They know my heart. Instagram's probably confused about who I am because they've seen so many different versions. They're just like, I don't even know what's going on with that chick. But I have a really big following there, so clearly I've figured out the mechanics. I don't know. So my philosophy is like, Instagram, you can sign a stranger. I sign straight up strangers. Facebook is personal people. I do host to post on both on all of it. Host to post on Snapchat, on Instagram, on Facebook. I do it on everything. Host to post are a great way to build your network. And I do expos obviously about half of the year. And parties. We book parties at expos on the spot. What I like to do is I like to get an expo in a location where I'm starting to build a team. And then we go to that expo a few times. We build that local team strong. And then I hand that expo over to that local team so they can start making that wrap cash. And then they can start benefiting off those parties. And soon, like our Seattle team, we're starting to build that Seattle team stronger. And Jade and Haley are going to take that over. And they're going to, be the ones. My husband and I last year did I want to say 400 or $500 wraps just in Seattle area. And we did easily 50, okay, maybe 40-ish parties. I want to build that team strong enough, or that area repetitively, but keep going so that we can hand that over to them. And so that they're comfortable enough to start doing that on their own. And I'm just using that area as an example because we just came from there. But we did the same thing with our Texas team, or we're doing that same thing. We're going to be doing that same thing with our East Coast team. Jaleesa is getting ready to head out to Baltimore and to New York. And so we picked places that we wanted to go to where we don't have team yet. And we're going to make our presence. We're going to make a local team there. And so if that makes sense. So my goal is to be able to take that and to grow it and then hand it over to what will then be that local team. My husband and I like to travel, so it's an excuse. Same thing with Canada. We're going to Canada. We're going to do the same thing there. We're going to go. It's twice a year. We're going to start building that local international team and do the same thing. So it's hard to say what I work the most. And like I said, I know that might not be, that's just me. My team itself, there are maybe one or two leaders that do, I know Araceli, she does all of it with me. She does all the expos, Facebook, Instagram, host to post, she does all of it. Paris does Instagram expos, not as much Facebook, online parties. So I would say there's a few people that do a few of them, but most stick to one or two, Facebook and Instagram, or Jaleesa. Y'all, Jaleesa really, she's just now really getting into social media. You guys, she worked her business 6 months out of the year, every year, and made so much wrap cash because she just worked expos. So, she really wasn't as worried. She's maintaining Ruby, but she makes an annual salary of a diamond. So the business is what you guys can make of it. Whatever you want from this. And that's the beauty of this. That's what I love about our comp plan. Because in my darkest moments, in that 8-month stretch, I would be lying to you if I didn't tell you that I looked. Of course I looked, because I was like, I blamed It Works for things that were my problem. They were not It Works' problem. It was me. And I looked and I was like, there was not a single other comp plan that came even remotely close to what we have. And I was like, well, I mean, that answers that. I mean, that answers that. So I love where besides the fact that our team is amazing, the comp plan allows for so much growth and so much control. Like, you have the power to do whatever you want. I have people that are like, you know what? I like selling retail, and I'm going to buy up every BOGO I possibly can. And I'm going to work those expos because I like face-to-face, and that's what that's going to be. And I have people that are like, I just want to be on social media, or I just want to do parties, and you can do that. Or you have crazies like me who's like, I'm going to make $1 million and I'm going to do it all. And you can be anything in between that. And that's what makes this business so amazing. You can overcome anything. You don't know what you're capable of. You guys, when we're in right now, August, this time last year, they were telling me that I had ovarian cancer. I had just beat cervical cancer. I just beat it. Like 8 months before that, I had just had a hysterectomy, and I was fucking having to do it all over again. And I was like, well, damn. The $9.99 people were happening. I signed 180 customers this time last year. They told me at the beginning of August, you have ovarian cancer. I went on for the whole rest of the month and signed 180 customers and fast started and cabbed every single $9.99. Every single one. Everyone. And then I went on to figure out what the heck I was going to do about chemo. It doesn't matter where you are in your life, what is happening to you, because you can do and can go wherever you want with the vehicle that you're in. And it just like gives me chills to think about it, because at one point, like I mean, there are many moments when I questioned, like, if I'd even be sitting here. You know, there were nights when we were going through chemo and I was spending most of those nights on the bathroom floor, puking up carrot juice and wondering if I was going to ever weigh more than freaking, I don't know, I had gotten down to like 130 pounds. Like I'm 5'10". I was like a bag of skeleton bones. Like, there were moments that I wondered if I'd ever get here. And now that I'm here, it's like, all right, well, where are we going next? So wherever you are in your life or in your business, that's what you have to look forward to. Where do I get to go to next? What do I get to overcome? What does my story get to be? Because it can be whatever you want it to be. Do I get to travel? Do I get to pay off debt? Like, do I get to, whatever your dream is, we have military families that are bringing their husbands home. Like, do I get to do that? Or, my husband and I have no intentions of retiring. That's just not who we are. I feel like if we retire, we'll probably just be grouchy old people, but you have that choice to be whatever it is. And that's what I love. That's what actual freedom is. Actual freedom is freedom of choice to do whatever you want. You don't have to fit in some cookie cutter box, So hopefully I wasn't too much of a squirrel and kind of just like jumped around too much, but I just want you guys to know I was so honored to get Katie's message. I was like, oh my gosh, we would love to. Absolutely. And I'm touched by your story. I find that people too often forget how amazing that they are. And I think that Katie, we talked a little bit today, and I want you to know that I know that you're, we just kind of talked, and I know you said that you guys were going through it. And I think that I know your team's on here, and I want y'all to know that, like, Katie, y'all and her have a special kind of leader who's like, you know what, when the going got tough, Katie was like, screw this. No, I'm going to step up. And I think that sometimes too often when the going gets tough, people don't do that. And so I want to personally thank Katie, because I think that is such an admirable quality. And I'm looking very forward to seeing you at Triple and welcoming you to the Life First page and seeing you at VIP. So I'm really, really excited. Again, thank you so much. Like I said, I'm super honored to have been to be asked to do this with you.
Well, I just Hey, thank you so much. Like, I was like, she's probably not even gonna message me back, but I want to give it a shot because I've literally been following you since Cami like shared your live from, I guess it's like green carpet or something. That's when I started following you. Like, I cried through a video and I was like, I'm obsessed with this girl. I follow you all like through the whole journey. And so I was like, you know what? Like, we really need to hear from her. So I just like want to thank you so, so much. And yeah, that's all I got to say. I'm so
Oh,
excited. I'm like, really out of my comfort zone doing this, FYI, because I'm yellow. But like, I feel like you just kind of inspired me to get out of my comfort zone more. Like, I should be doing events. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. I'm like taking notes. Like, notes are like crazy. But again, thank you so much. Like, I know my team really enjoyed this. They're texting me, oh my God, I love her. Someone just said that you gave a cop some keto energy when you got pulled over.
Keto energy. I was like, man, I'm so getting a ticket. It's because I think I was on the phone with, I was on the phone or getting ready to do a live. I was doing something, I don't know, but I was like doing something. And I was like, well, I just need to get out of this ticket because my husband's going to kill me. Because if my insurance goes up one more time, he is just going to kick me off the insurance. Oh yeah, I was live.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Something was happening. I don't know, but I just know that my husband would have been mad. So I was like, well, I just need to get myself out of this one. So yeah. So I will definitely, if I know that some people were like, I are on maybe not Katie's team, but you guys can have your leader message me. I'll try and get to as many message requests, but yeah, the Power Hour Doc's like open to anybody. And I will upload this video and hopefully by tomorrow. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate your time. I'm so sorry that we went over. I'm so sorry.